So what are you doing? It is 5 minutes after 2, and I came out for a little ride. I thought you might want to come along. So let's go check things out, shall we? I've had some issues with chain over the past few days. It's been driving me crazy because, as you know, I got the chain right exactly where I wanted it. Right exactly where I wanted it. Got it aligned perfectly, got the links, the perfect amount of links, which is key on this thing. And I told you about it. I got that half link. That helped a great deal. That put it that extra little bit that it needed. Got it over the hump, and I snapped it. It was cheap. It turned out to be cheaply made. And that, listen, everybody, whenever they talk about chain, bike chain, they always say go with a good name. Go with Shimano, or go with a good name, because if you get some kind of cheap ass knockoff, it's gonna fail you. And sure enough, it did to me twice. Not once, but twice. Because I'm, Mr. I have faith in you. So yeah. Anyway. So I snapped it once, and it went. I was down by the police station. Snapped it once and went right through the end of the chain, the link, just right through it. Its own. I think it was its own pin went through it, right through the end of it. That's how cheap it was. So, Mr. Gullible, I went and didn't think, it's just a cheaply made link. I figured, okay, well, it's just a flaw in that one. So let me go and throw another one on, because I had another one, and threw another one on, put it together and everything. Went for a ride, and sure enough, it snapped through it. But there was a reason for that, and I kind of made that reason for that. But even still, it's cheaply made, so I'm not going to get those again, I don't think. I think what I'll actually do is, hello. What I'll actually do is, search and see if I can find one from, I don't know, like Shimano or Tram or something, someplace that's good. That I mean, why doesn't everybody make half links? Is it that crazy? Is that hard? Is it that hard to make them? Well, maybe it is. Maybe that's what the problem is. I don't know. Anyway, God, I'm hearing so many crackles and pops down by the chain. I'm so worried about this thing, because I had to, go back to the old way. I hated doing that. God, I hated doing that. I didn't want to go back to the old way. I want to go to the, keep with the new way. That's all. Because I like that the best, right? But no, I can't do that. I gotta go back to the old way, because I'm going to just keep going through. If I keep getting them, that's stupid. I'm just going to waste money. So either I get a new one, or I find some other way to fix this thing. And that, I fear, might be the way I'm leaning, to just figure something else out that'll work. And I've tried. God, it feels like I've tried everything. It feels like that I've done all the configurations that possibly could be done on this thing. But I'm sure there's more, and I'll figure it out. This configuration, this way was fine. I mean, I'd go for a couple weeks without having any, the chain coming off. Because that's all it was. It wasn't snapping the chain. Most of the time it wasn't snapping the chain. Most of the time it was just derailing, And that sucks if you're out on the road, because if I've cinched it up between the whatchamacallits, by the chain idlers, so it's real tight like it is right now, fixing it on the road is pretty much, you can't, because you need more tools than I have on board. You need all of them to get, because there's all kinds of things you gotta mess with, and that requires being up on the lift table, because getting down on my back underneath this thing just isn't going to happen, especially not out on the road. Just not going to happen. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, how this is going to be one of those ridiculous things. How like a tractor, like a backhoe, how they have those stabilizers that when they're going to go and dig something up with the bucket, they go and they use the stabilizers. They either have 2 or 4 of them, depending on how big the backhoe is, I guess, and they just come down and lift the whole thing up off the ground, so they stabilize it, right? I was thinking, because this is so heavy, and I can't. I used to be able to lift it up on its side, and before I put these batteries in the back, I used to be able to put it up on the sides and change the tire, no problem. Change the tube, no big deal, right? And I could even get it the way it is on the ground. I could even change the tube that way. It was much more difficult, but I was able to do it, But I was thinking, why not adopt that whole concept, like have the whole back of it kind of come up, maybe have some sort of actuators on the back, so that would act as like legs for the back, like jacks, And I found a couple of actuators that come as a pair, that they use for raising TVs and for couches and for, different things that I think are this heavy, And I looked in the and they're cheap. They're, $45 or something like that. But I looked in the comments, and people were using them for things that seem to be much heavier, not used for what it says it's used for, right? But they're supposed to be somewhat waterproof and stuff like that. So I kind of looked into them, and I might do that. I mean, there's a little button. It's on 12 volt. There's a little button you press to deploy them and raise up the whole. I'd have one on left and one on the right, on the back end, right by the axles, and just, they raise them, I think 35 inches, something like that. So the whole back end could raise up 35 inches, and then when it's done, it just kind of retracts, goes back in itself, because they're telescoping. And it's probably somewhat hidden. I thought that would be pretty cool. Oh, somebody's grooming their dog out on the front porch. That's funny. Anyway, so I was thinking that would be kind of cool to go and be able to press a button and the whole back end lifts up off the ground. I just think that would be neat. You know, rather than get a jack out and jack up the back end, you know, put it down on the ground, you know, whatever. It's just the cool factor. That's all it is. I just don't know if it would work. Not real sure. If my 12-volt system is putting out enough juice for that, I'm not sure. But I think I said on another ride that I've got my eye on a bigger output DC to DC converter. There's one that has 50 amps. Now, and I think mine only has 20. And I think that's why some of the stuff that I want to work on here doesn't work, like my horn, because I think it needs more amps. Need to give it some more electricity so it will honk right or beep right. Anyway, that's my thought, but we'll see. Anyway, I was excited about that. That would be kind of fun to be, you know, if I had a flat or something. That's crappy when you have a flat. It sucks when you have a flat, especially out on the road, right? Where you're not around the house, so you can just kind of limp home real quick. You got to fix it out there. I mean, I do have the Tannis armor, so I'd be able to get home probably, because I've done that before. You know, I've limped home on my Tannis armor and for quite a while, and it's worked just fine. So I know that'll work, but they do get flatter and flatter as time goes by, and that's not something that, you know, maybe a year or two afterwards it won't hardly protect it at all, you know, when you're trying to limp home. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of being ginger with the throttle, because I'm leery about this chain. I'm trying to just rack my brain to see what I can do with this thing. I'm not sure, or if it'll just be good like this, you know. I'm hoping that that'll be the case. Just, you know, whatever. Anyway, oh, I also changed the whole dashboard, everything. I changed this whole thing, and I changed this. I think you can only see this top one, and I changed some things down below as well. And I kind of widened this out so that all this stuff isn't right in front of me, because it used to be right in front of me. Good morning. So now I moved it so it's further apart, and that way I get to it's much easier to sit down in and get out of, because this area is completely open, where this was moved over, and this was way over here, and there's something down below that was way over to the left also on the right side. So I moved everything out of the way so I can get in and out really easy. And I can still see my side view mirror right next to my phone, and this is in the right spot. And I can also, if you can see it right here, is my paddles for the wireless derailleur. So now I can actually get to the wireless derailleur and make changes there. And then I also have my radio right here by my thumb, like I always like it. So it's much better. The only thing I lost was my bell. I don't know where I'm going to put my bell. I might put it underneath here so I can kind of reach it under here or something like that. I don't know. We'll do something. I don't use it that much. That's the problem. Nobody hears it because they have their headphones on. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. I'm not sure. I'm just leery. I love riding this thing so much. I don't want to break it by slamming the throttle on it, but I want to go faster so bad. It's a little better. And I don't hear as many clicks at the faster speed. Ooh, stinky water. Also, I got the, I'm setting up my electric system, the 12-volt system, a little bit different. I think I said it on another vlog. I'm pretty sure I told you about it. In either case, I'm going to change it from having each light or whatever I'm charging with, I'm powering with the 12-volt system. I had, each one had a home run wire to where the bus in the back, the wiring bus that everything goes into, that's where they get power from. I had each one, the black and the red wire, go all the way back to that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to one pair on the left side of the bike and one pair on the right side, black and red on each side, and I'm going to tap into that from each item. Like, this charges my phone. It's not right now because I have the whole 12-volt system turned off because there's a short someplace. That's why I'm redoing everything. In either case, this charges my phone, and I have, lights and all kinds of lights and stuff like that. And I'm planning on getting another set of lights for ground effects that they aren't that expensive. And I'm changing up my lights. I think I said it. I'm changing up the big round lights that I love on this thing. I've just never been able to get them to work. So I'm going to change up and get some other ones. And I might actually put a couple up front too. I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out fully. I just got rid of the round ones, and I'm thinking about the rest. But in either case, I'm going to redo the whole system and have it run real clean all the way up to the back, so you don't see the big wad of wiring. I mean, there's just a big wad back there, and I hate it. So, I mean, they're all, I have them all bundled together. Everything's, perfect in that way, but it looks like a big wad of wires, because it is. So I'm going to lose all that stuff, and I'm going to just tap into the big wire. And I'm not going to break the big wire. I'm not going to cut it at all these different joints. I'm going to tap into that big wire with all the little small wires just along the way. So because I'm getting these little wire clips that go on them that clip onto the big one, and then the big wire, and then there's a little end that I put on the little wire, and then I snap that onto the big wire, and it should work pretty good. It should look pretty good. we'll see. It'll be nice. I can't wait to get it, you know, all kind of worked out and everything, and lose that big wad of wires. It's just so much wiring that I'm gonna lose, and just have, you know, essentially 4 wires. I think at this point I'm thinking of 4 wires, unless I run another set of wires that I put off of my 72 volt system, because I'm thinking of, I may or may not do this. I'm thinking of having one 12 volt system off my 48 volt batteries, and one 12 volt system run off my 72 volt batteries with a larger controller, you know, step, whatever it's called, DC, yeah, DC to DC converter. Have a separate one for each one of those, and that way, because I'm sure that the 72 volt batteries put out more amps than, or are capable of putting out more amps than the 48 volt. I would think. So I might want to make another system with the controller that, or the DC to DC controller that the one that I have is, I think it's 20 amp output, and I think my horn that I want, the Roadrunner beep beep horn that I've been trying to get running since I bought this thing, I think it needs more amps. So I think I need a bigger output, and I think that's what I'll put on my my whatchamacallits, my 72 volt system. So we'll see. There's all kinds of stuff running around in my head. But I didn't want to do anything yet, because, you know, that's going to be downtime. And I hate downtime when I can't go out and ride this thing. So I reconfigured all this stuff, and put the chain on, and thought, what the hell, I'll go out and go for a ride, have a good time, you know. So that's what we're doing. That's it. Trying to give it a little bit more gas, and still hopefully not breaking the chain or derailing the chain. That's the goal. And the anxiety of holding off just drives me crazy. I want to just hammer it, you know, or be able to at least, and I can't, because I don't know if I can or not, because I just redid this whole thing again.